My name is Andre Griffith, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all here today. Today, the world is celebrating International Girls in ICT Day, and we're joining them in that celebration right here in Barbados. Today, we encourage you young ladies to use the technology to create, innovate, and tackle challenges using tech tools on multiple activities. But more than anything, we want you to open your minds to the opportunities that await you in the world of tech. And our first speaker today is Samantha Chantrell. She's the Managing Director of Changemakers Limited, a development consultancy firm in Jamaica.
We are a group of women consultants who came together from Switzerland, from Canada, from Jamaica, to think about how we can engage our young women in the Caribbean region around technology. My sister is a techie, and I think one of the few moments in my life where she's actually said, "I'm so proud of you," was yesterday on my way traveling, to say, for putting on a workshop for young women and encouraging young women to get into the area of tech. So mind the formalities that we're doing here today. Today is about you. It's about you asking questions. It's about you getting engaged. It's about you taking chances and seeing what is out there as a possibility for a career for you. Men dominate this field of tech. Now, traditionally, we don't let men dominate for long in anything, and so I'm expecting that in a very near future, we will see women taking over this field. And we discussed, we're doing this in 3 countries in the region this year. Hopefully we'll get out to more countries next year, but for this year, we are in Jamaica, we're in Barbados, and we're in Trinidad. And simultaneously, there are girls from high schools and universities and colleges in all 3 countries doing exactly what you're doing today. And this is being live streamed, so you'll all be a part of what people will be able to log on and see. And I've met some of you this morning. I want to hear your voices a little bit more throughout the day, and I really want to thank you for taking the time out to be here with us, and I am looking forward to great things by the end of the day. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Chantrell. Next, we're going to invite one of the private sector corporation representatives, Ms. Kim Stanton, who is the Director of Business Support at Scotiabank. Scotiabank is the regional platinum sponsor for today's event. Thank you.
I'm delighted to be here to represent Platinum sponsor Scotiabank at International Girls in ICT Day. I'm personally moved by this event because I've spent most of my career in IT. When I started my computer studies at Barbados Community College, there was only 1 girl for every 4 boys in my class. When I started working in IT as a programmer, I was the only woman in the department. Although here in Barbados, women are well represented in the tertiary education and in many areas of business, they are underrepresented in science and technology sectors. Gender parity is one of the major reasons that Scotiabank is sponsoring this event in Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica. We believe in opportunity for everyone, and Scotiabank works hard to ensure diversity and inclusion in our workplace. I can attest to that. We know for a fact that diverse teams across gender, racial, and cultural lines make us a strong organization. Secondly, the bank itself invested heavily in technology, developing innovations to serve our customers better. We have introduced Scotiabank digital factories in Toronto and 4 Latin American cities. We aspire to be a digital leader. We will be the digital leader in the financial services industry. And finally, at the core of Scotiabank, who Scotiabank is as a corporate citizen, we support youth in education and development wherever our bank operates around the globe. Scotiabank is proud to announce that we will be partnering partnering in the Caribbean Science Foundation to initiate a coding camp in Barbados beginning September of 2017. The coding camp is still in the planning phase, but the targeted age group is expected to be between 13 and 17 years of age, with hopefully an equal participation of girls and boys. In closing, I'd like to encourage the young girls, the young ladies, young women to have fun. Take advantage of this exciting opportunity to learn. Perhaps you will find this the beginning of a future in technology. Thank you.
Next, we are pleased to welcome our gold sponsor, Sagicor, represented by Ms. Susan Boyer. She's the Vice President of Business Relationship Management. Ms. Boyer?
I appreciate this opportunity to speak to you today on behalf of Sagicor, especially to the chosen young women who will be embarking on an exciting journey. An event such as this is a wonderful opportunity for young girls to gain meaningful exposure to the world of information communications technology, ICT. I myself have been in the field for over 25 years, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Although men may outnumber women in the field of ICT, there is nothing that predisposes boys to ICT in the same way that nothing predisposes girls to cooking. ICT is an equal opportunity discipline, and so Sagicor is proud to provide support to the Caribbean Hackathon and for the notion that anything boys can do, girls can do too, or even better. Sagicor has always focused on the development of the communities in which we operate, in areas such as health, sport, culture, education, and youth development. 5 years ago, we introduced the Sagicor Visionaries Challenge to promote science, technology, engineering, and math, otherwise known as STEM, education throughout the region. We firmly believe that these disciplines are the drivers of development today and in the future. If we are to empower our children, and of course our women, then initiatives such as the Caribbean Hackathon must be a norm and not an anomaly. ICT is not just ones and zeros, motherboards, mainframes, cables, and chips. The fact of the matter is, the world is changing every day, and the technology is leading the way. If you want to succeed, or for that matter, exist in today's world, you must embrace technology. In the future, everyone will be using ICT, I'm sure you will know that, in one form or another. But we need visionaries like you young ladies here today to get involved and conceive tomorrow's innovations. So let's change the face of the ICT industry and balance the scales right here and right now. I thank you.
Next, we'll welcome Dr. Janice Badnock to the podium. Dr. Badnock is a lecturer in synthetic organic chemistry and the current Deputy Dean, Outreach and Research of the Faculty of Science and Technology. She holds a BSc First Class Honours in Chemistry and Mathematics from the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, and a PhD in Chemistry from Dartmouth College, where her research focused on the synthetic chemistry of the heterocyclic compound indole. Let's welcome Dr. Badnock.
ICT, Information Communication Technology, plays a key role in all of our everyday lives. From tweeting presidents, snaps, and IG posts, to apps for just about everything from securing concert tickets to booking an apartment on Airbnb, ICT influences every fabric of our social lives. But it doesn't end there. Just about every job now requires some type of computing skills. And the growing links to the education and health sectors, just to name a few, cannot be ignored. In spite of these linkages, there remains a shortage of professionals servicing existing jobs in this sector. And in some countries, a shortage of innovation and economic growth that often results when groups of talented ICT specialists incubate their ideas. The need for more ITC specialists is only overshadowed by the need for more women in IT and in STEM-related careers in general. Currently, there's a disproportionate number of women in science careers, an inequality that is borne out quite clearly at the university. At Cave Hill, and using the statistics from 2015-16, the Faculty of Science and Technology is the only faculty on the campus with a smaller percentage of female to male students in undergrad programs. This discipline just last year graduated only the second female with an MPhil in computer science. And while 30% of the full-time staff in the Faculty of Science and Technology are female, there are only two full-time, or two female lecturers, I should say, in the discipline of computer science out of a contingent of 10. To you, the participants, this forum is intended to foster your interests, inspire your creativity, and most importantly, highlight some of the careers that await young women interested in this sector. Finally, I want to leave you with a quotation from Teddy Roosevelt, who's the 26th President of the United States, who said it best: "Believe you can, and you are halfway there." Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we will have Ms. Gillian Hassel. She's the Managing Director of Aries Technologies, Inc., a Barbadian software development company. Mrs. Hassel has a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering and a Master of Science in Computer Science from the University of South Florida.
As Managing Director of Aries Technologies, which is a software development company, what I look for in potential candidates, I look for two things. I want to look at their attitude, which is that for me, any potential employee has to have the attitude of, any challenge that you throw at me, I believe I can do it. And if I don't know how to do it today, I believe I can find out how to do it by tomorrow. So that's one of the attitudes I want to see in potential employees. They also have to have an attitude of being a team player, because they know we work in an organization where there may be projects where everybody has to work as a team. So I want them to have the attitude of, what do you need done? All hands on deck, I'm ready to go. That's what I'm looking for, right? The second thing I'm looking for is aptitude, because we're not all wired the same way. So within the ICT field, you have to figure out what you are best at. And some of us might be best at networking or hardware. That might just be where our passion lies. Some of us might be best at coding or software development. And so I'm looking for the person that usually who is going to be good and is passionate about software development. So attitude and aptitude, those are the two things, and I look for them in equal measure because they're both very important for somebody who's going to be successful. So I hope again that when you leave here, you're going to be energized. That spark that's in you, we're going to have it lit into a blazing fire, that you go back to your school and you're ready to start a computer club or something at your school where you all start to encourage each other to use the technology to improve your lives and to get you where you're going. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll enjoy spending the day with you.
Our next speaker, who will be giving the feature address today, is Senator Irene Sandiford Garner. She was the recipient of the Barbados Nation newspaper's 10th anniversary scholarship and studied mass communications at the Virginia Commonwealth University at Richmond, Virginia, in the United States of America. The senator holds graduate and postgraduate qualifications from the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, the Chartered Institute of Marketing UK, and the Credit Union National Association of America. She is currently Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism. Senator Sandiford Garner is a strong champion of women's rights and in 2008 was appointed Barbados's principal delegate to the Organization of American States, OAS, Inter-American Commission on Women, and was elected a vice president in 2010. She was recently elected to serve on the executive of that body for the 2012 to 2014 term. She was selected to be a gender advocate for the Center for Policy Development in the Caribbean in 2015. She has served on the Committee of Privileges and the Management Commission of Parliament and the Cabinet Committee of Governance for the past 8 years. The senator has been invited to deliver addresses regarding women's issues at numerous conferences, seminars, and colloquiums within and outside the Caribbean region. Her most notable achievements have been delivering the Barbados Report on the Status of Women to the United Nations in 2011, the opening of a colloquium of Caribbean women leaders in Port of Spain at the invitation of the Trinidad government in 2011 as well, and addressing the Organization of American States General Assembly on behalf of the CIM in 2012. One of Senator Garner's sons just happens to be an IT specialist. Let's give her a warm welcome. Senator Garner.
It is my distinct pleasure to have been invited to deliver remarks at an event such as this, which seeks to empower women and girls through the use of information and communications technology. These events are aimed at making girls and young women aware of the vast possibilities offered by ICT and to give them confidence to pursue careers and studies in the field. Now, the question may be asked by those who don't know or who don't understand, but why go to all this trouble to encourage girls and women to become interested in careers in these areas? You are here today because the ITU, the government of Barbados, and the sponsors of this hackathon are all in agreement that the idea that women and girls are not critical thinkers and that we possess less technical ability than men is a myth. The long-held view that members of the female sex are not proficient in science, technology, engineering, and math is a fallacy that we have to work very hard at dispelling. The ITU, therefore, is continuing in its efforts to heighten awareness and interest in this industry among women and girls because it is a well-established reality that there is a gender divide in internet use and uptake as a result of the wholesale adoption of this perception. Today is a wonderful start towards changing the socio-cultural perceptions and mindsets that have limited the advancement of women in the industry. Those of you gathered here today are resisting the stereotypes. Continue to resist the stereotypes. You are working for change. And I commend you, and I commend all who have made this event possible. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sandiford Garner. To our distinguished speakers, on behalf of the organizers of today's event, please accept our sincere thanks for taking the time from your busy schedules to share your expertise, enlighten, and motivate our young women ahead of today's Hackathon Challenge and Workshop. I'm sure that your words of wisdom will go a long way in inspiring them to strive for excellence in the ICT field or any other chosen area. Thank you once again. Before we get into the meat of today's session, I will need to introduce you to the participants from our educational institutions. Today, we will have representatives from Queen's College. Queen's College. Springer Memorial, Graydon Seeley, Dighton Griffith, the Barbados Community College, and the University of the West Indies. Today's event has been deemed a hackathon challenge, so what you are going to need to be working with, those problems, the solutions that you need to come up with, all of this has been designed by the challenge master, Brian Linton. And Jillian alluded to it a little earlier, there will be mentors working with you today. So our mentors are Lana Prescott, Sophia Boyce, Leslie Evanson, Jillian Hassel, Shamar Kelman, and Tessa King Innes, who, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the 2 female lecturers in technology at the university. So before we declare the Hackathon challenge and workshop open, we're going to take a short break so that our teams can get together and get themselves sorted out. Okay, so thank you all for attending.